Good evening, and welcome to show number 6. Songbird Session, show number 6. Who are we missing? Something feels like it's missing. Wonder what could that be? It's Mr. Schemmel.
Hello.
Hello, let me get rid of that background because it's a bit
Ta-da.
distracting. There we go. How you doing?
I'm all right, thank you. Yourself? Feeling a little bit better. Not been well.
I was going to say, it feels like I haven't seen you or anything since, last Wednesday. I think you went off with, what was it, typhoid or something
really
like that?
Stupid migraine that lasted for about 4 days.
Bubonic plague or something like that? I suppose we shouldn't talk about that, actually.
No.
Don't mention that.
Definitely not.
So again, the first thing I will say is look at my new camera. Isn't this much clearer than my old? Nobody asked your opinion.
Don't like
Isn't
it.
it clearer than my old camera, which was like blurry and pixelated and everything? The only problem is there is an obvious flaw in the camera. Look at that.
Oh,
My guitar neck looks like it's bent, which is the kind of fisheye nature of it. So anyway, I was fed up with getting pixelated kind of blurriness on YouTube. So I figured I'd get a new camera. So this is my little test, really. And then if it kind of looked...
Oh, I forgot to put the light on. Give me a second.
Am I still here?
Oh, you are still here, mate. You are still here.
Hello, can you hear me?
I can hear you, but you're frozen for some reason.
This is a nightmare.
Yeah. Oh, there you go. You're back.
So it may be there's something for the last 2 days. I've had something weird going on with my internet. And yesterday when we were doing the sort of live stream session I was doing then, it was okay for me and it was bad for someone else. And then today I was in the middle of doing a group coaching session. So here I am working in this group coaching session, and all of a sudden I lose the entire session.
Oh,
and I'm like, technology just does your head in. So here we are again. I mean, geez, this flew round quick, didn't it?
Oh, this come around way too quick this time.
But it's been a nice, easy set-up show, hasn't it? It's been nice and easy, straightforward.
No.
It always...
There's always some sort of issue that goes on, isn't there? There's always some sort of issue.
Absolutely. So as you know, we were supposed to have the lovely Ava Page all the way from Nashville. Now, at the time, we were wondering, is this going to happen? Because over there, obviously, it's Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
But she was saying, no, it'll be fine. And she came in, did the sound check and that on Monday, and it was all great. And then her family's taken her away to some river cabin thing in the middle of nowhere with no Wi-Fi or anything. so I'm going, okay. But, as luck would have it, we know enough people, and Mr. Schemmel pulled the old white rabbit out of the hat, and we have found a fantastic replacement. Now, I've seen these guys. Sam's known them for a long time, and they're great. And what it gives as well is it gives us that nice, because it was going to be a country and country Americana act. But now it'll be proper country Americana blues kind of act and a good proper folk duo. Yeah. So it'll be fantastic. So really looking forward to it. Sam, you up?
I am really looking forward to it because Steve and Julie are like on the folk scene.
Don't say who it is.
Everyone knows. They've seen the poster. But I absolutely love Steve and Julie. Julie's songwriting is next to none on the folk scene, in my opinion. So...
And they're nice and local as well, aren't they?
And they are,
They only live like 20 minutes away from me.
Yeah, the Derby, yeah. Just up the road from you, mate, just up the road.
Mind you, Derby's a big county, actually, so they might
be on the opposite side.
Yeah. So very quick hellos to Jenny, Sam's other half, who is sitting there probably in the same room listening to him, which always strikes me as a bit weird. But it's
she's I shouldn't say, but I think she's listening to TV today.
You mean she's not glued to us doing the show? Terrible.
She's nicked me headphones, my Bluetooth headphones, linked to the TV. because she's gonna watch some celebrity, whatever it's
Kick her out.
Be.
Get rid of her.
Oh, she's
Not
texting away now, mate. I'm going to get a nasty comment.
Yeah, I'm going to get a comment now coming up, aren't I? Yeah. Don't talk about me because I can hear you. Yeah. Evening, Tina. And
so Tina is from.
So Tina is here for Julie and Steve.
Yeah, from the Mans. That's right, isn't it? Mansfield Folklore.
Mansfield, yeah, that's.
I was saying Macclesfield. I don't know why I say Macclesfield. But she's definitely Mansfield Folklore.
They're both north of here. They're just in different directions. Yeah. And then we have Rog, who is Jenny's dad, who is watching on YouTube. He is our avid one YouTube follower, which is brilliant. So I knew that would come. So Jenny's just said, "You've been replaced with I'm a celeb. Get me out of here." I feel so abused. That's terrible.
Oh, Mr. Bayliss is on.
Joe Bayliss as well. Yeah. Okay, so we've got a great show. So the two acts we've got. So the one act we've got Sandy McLelland. Now this is a guy I came across probably getting on for 2 years ago now. And I kind of, as you do with Facebook and the groups you're connected with in terms of Me Country, I came across his music and I thought, I love the style, I love his playing, I love his whole, and also the package it comes in as well. It is a great style. He's got a very good style about him as well. And his album is brilliant. He's put a lot of the playing and stuff like that on it himself, and it's produced really well as well. So I was looking forward to this.
So I've never really heard of Steve. That's right, isn't it, Steve? Steve McLelland?
Sandy. Steve is Julie's wife.
Sorry,
Julie's husband.
Sandy. But I got to. Luckily, I had a gig on the Monday up at Glenfarg Folk Club up in Scotland, and I luckily said to Andy, if you get on now, because Sandy put a little message saying I can go on early. I was like, if you get on now, I can get to have a little listen before the show on Thursday, which is absolutely great. He sounded fantastic, really, really good. And he's got some special
he's got a
thing tonight,
which
looks really nice.
Blues kind of raspy voice as well, and he's got a great range. That's one of the things I've never been gifted with, is a great range. As soon as I start going low, it's like it disappears. And if I go high, I sing like a 10-year-old choir boy, which is never a great thing.
Choir boy, Mr. Hughes?
So I'm not going to demonstrate, no. It'll be awful.
I want to hear this choir boyness.
No, not yet. Maybe another time, after a few gins.
Okay.
Hello, Kelly. Welcome. Nice to see you. So really looking forward to Sandy coming on and doing some songs. And also, hopefully he'll talk about his album. And he'll do some songs from the album. That'd be really nice. And then we have Steve and Julie Wigley. Sam, introduce Steve and Julie Wigley as you brought them in at the very last minute.
Oh, no. I kind of was messaging around this afternoon. I was like, who am I going to find him? And then all of a sudden in my message section, because I say we had a duo on before, didn't we? Which was Tennessee Twins. And I was a bit like, and the sound was a little bit, we had to try and sort it out halfway in between. And I was like, oh, Julie's just come on. Hang on a second. They only use one mic. Yeah, we can do this. So avidly messaged Julie, and luckily Steve rung me back, and we got to have a bit of chat. But yes, I've known Steve and Julie now for got to be probably pushing on to say 3 to 4 years. They'd probably correct me if I'm wrong. Met them. I can't actually remember. I know I definitely saw them at Burton Folk Club, but I think they were a little bit closer when I first met them. And Julie's writing style is just absolutely blows me away. And there's like, I think they've got about probably 4 or 5 albums, I think. I could be wrong. They'll probably re-quote me, but every song, in my opinion, there's not one that I've heard that's just like I don't like. And
who else could write a song about a little silver spoon in a Babylon brick?
I have asked them nicely tonight. I said, can I put a request in if you could do Spoon in the Brook? But yeah, it was really nice because they'd met me a few times, Steve and Julie, and they came to me the one, and Steve went, Julie's written a song for you. So I was like, oh my God. So there is a song that they do, which is like written with me in mind. It was really nice, actually. It was really nice. I love these guys.
Don't
I'm going to let
show
them.
off. Don't show
honestly.
off just because you got a song.
I know, it was so nice.
Yeah. So, Rog, I didn't miss the comment that you were playing steel. So I'm looking forward to hearing a bit of that. That would be nice. So Rog, Jenny's dad, was playing a little bit of steel guitar to one of my songs. So I'm hoping to hear that. That'd be nice. And Michael McMillan as well. So Michael, we've been messaging backwards and forwards, and I'm going to try and get him on one of our shows as well. With all of these things, it always comes down to, can we make the technology work? And if not, can we make it work well enough so that the sound... Because what we wouldn't want to do is get anybody on and the sound just present them in a poor light. So, Michael, welcome. We'll figure it out somehow. I'm sure we will. Right, let's not talk anymore, because we like to talk, and the danger is we'll be half an hour in and we won't have even sung a song. So let's bring in our guests, Sandy and Steve Julie. Let's say hello. So here we have Sandy. Sandy, wave to our viewers.
How are you doing, guys? Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you coming in nicely.
Very good. Nice to be here. Nice to be here.
Right. So this is one of those challenges.
Hi, everybody.
This is one of those challenges.
We need to tick the box, don't we?
We need to tick the box, don't we?
Do we need to tick the box to take the echo off?
Do we need to tick the box to take the echo off?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So this is one of those things. People are going,
This is one of those things. People are going, I can hear you twice.
Okay, let's try.
Are we there?
Right, is that any better?
That's it, I think.
Yeah, that's it.
That's it, I think.
Yeah, that's it.
Oh no, there's a little bit of an echo still. Is that just me, or can you hear that as well?
Just me, or can you hear that as well?
I can't hear it.
Okay.
I can hear it. I can hear it. And I can hear me as well. I'm coming back about a second later.
Okay.
Okay, let's just try that. Hang on. Make sure that all the speakers disconnected.
This is the great thing about technology.
Right,
There we go.
how's that?
That sounds better.
Is that better?
There's still a little bit of an echo, but it's not as bad as it was.
See, this is what I love. We seem to get it perfect in soundcheck. Everything seems to be great. And all of a sudden, we all come
1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2.
So when you speak, there's no echo.
Yeah. I think it might be looping back from your speaker, I think.
Right, let me just mute you a second, see if the echo disappears. Apologies for this. I know it's rude to mute you, but we do it in the nicest way. Right, so now talk.
Yeah, it's definitely gone.
Yeah, all clear.
What we doing?
Yeah, so I think it is your Bluetooth speaker or your laptop speaker that's echoing. Have you got it coming out of the laptop and the speaker?
No, only the laptop now. Hang on. Let me just make sure. How's that?
Right.
That's it.
Better. That's
Is that
it.
It's gone. Yay!
That's it.
Yeah, it's the echo cancellation. I've sorted it.
Okay.
Marvellous. This is, do you know what? There were many months where Sam and I were getting ready to throw technology through Windows and all sorts. Because all these systems do things in different ways. If you go on Zoom, it's one way. If you do it on this, it's another way. It's crazy. It's crazy. But it's good. So our plan is our usual format, as always, if you followed the show before as well, is we're going to talk a little bit, we'll sing some songs, and then we'll talk a little bit more and sing some songs and that sort of format. So what I will do is I will go straight to Sandy to start off with, and we'll get Sandy to do a couple of songs. And then, so Sandy, talk us through the songs you're going to do and introduce them to the audience. And we'll leave you on your own in the screen, so you haven't got us interfering and waving at you.
Happy to see you guys, but just don't make faces. That's the issue.
Well, the danger is we will, because we love to play up. So if you do your songs, tell the audience about your songs, the story, and things like that.
Sure.
And then at the end of your two, we'll literally swap you straight over with Steve and Julie, and again do the same thing. And then afterwards, we'll chat about your kind of early influences and things like that. Okay?
Okay. Sounds good.
Marvellous. So
Good.
Steve and Julie, again, this feels quite rude, but I'm going to drop you into the backstage.
See you in a minute, guys.
Yeah. Sam, I'll drop you into the backstage as well. And the floor's all yours, Sandy.
Good evening, anybody. I'm just going to take my headset off now. we have the headset on so that we don't have to have the speakers. This is a song from my current album. The album's been out just about a year now, and did fine actually. It surprisingly did well in last September, October. Out of nowhere, the album eventually wriggled up to the top of the UK country chart and won a few awards, and that was very nice. It's nice to know that I wasn't the only one who liked any of it. This is a song on the album called River of Tears, and I like to think that in another age this might have made a half-decent protest song. Enjoy. Tear in a mother's eye as her son goes to war like it was his first school day. How could a child so weak she held in her arms turn back from her and choose to go his own way? It all comes down, all the joy and the fears. When it all comes down, it's just a river of tears. And as a family man in an eternal plan, watches his newborn one only a heartbeat away. He has no fears for her as long as he's by her side. He can hold on to her certainty in her day. So when it all comes down, joy and the fear, when it all comes down, it's just a river of tears. I know this broken world is for changing, and if we don't, we'll be the ones to blame. Let's be bound by a promise we know we can make. Yeah, to light up the day, to light up the way. Yeah, to light up the day, to light up the way. So you better lift up your voice and learn to rejoice. Let every breath that you take make something better each and every day. Because all we have is right here, and if we hold it so dear, we can take better care of one another some small way. So when it all comes down, all the joy and the fears, when it all comes down, it's not just a river of tears. It's not just a river of tears, but you're more than a river of tears. It's not just a river of tears, but you're more That was River of Tears. Well, we started at the beginning, got to the middle, and made it as far as the end. So I hope you enjoyed. Pretty well all the songs I'm going to sing for you tonight are on the album, cunningly entitled Cross the Line. And in fact, I'll sing that song for you a little bit later on. This next song is not. This is a new song. I'm sort of halfway through the recording of another album. And this is a new song. And this is a song called When the Hurt Is Done. And it sort of explores the notion that even in times which are very trying, be they on a small scale or a huge scale or whatever, be they in affairs of the heart or any of it, it's not always possible to kind of successfully rail against things right there and then. And sometimes, when they're not going terribly well, the best you can do is kind of try and absorb it with as good a grace as you can muster and wait the difficulties out, or if it's a difficulty with your loved ones or whatever, be there, just ballast and body heat and a cup of tea. And eventually you might get on top of it. So this is a song called When the Hurt Is Done. There's a sad song in the corner, and it's waiting to be sung. Keeps on calling out to me now, 'cause it thinks that I am the one. Pick it up and dust it down, but I'm not the one. Sing it up and sing it loud about everything you've done. And I know that the time will come when we will be as one again. And I'll be waiting for you till the time is right. And I'll be waiting for you if you change your mind. I'll be waiting for you, 'cause I know you'll find the hurt is done. Yeah, the hurt is done. If I thought that you could hear me, I would walk you through the pain. I am focused on forgiveness. I'm not looking to lay the blame. I know you think you let us down and you wasted all the plans, but I'm still your flesh, you're still my blood. I know I'm still your man. Love needs me to make this sacrifice. I know I can again. I'll be waiting for you till the time is right. And I'll be waiting for you if you change your mind. I'll be waiting for you, 'cause I know you'll find the hurt is done. The hurt is done. Yeah, I'll be waiting for you till the time is right. I'll be waiting for you
Okay, what an early treat. Well done, Sandy. That's brilliant.
Thank you very much.
So it's weird, isn't it? People are having all sorts of connection issues tonight. Tina's said she's freezing and stuff like that. I assume she doesn't mean temperature. I think it's internet. And Courtney, welcome.
I think where we are with this, I mean, the technology is incredible, but the strain on it now,
I know,
is also incredible, because there's never been this level of kind of live streaming activity up till now.
Yeah,
and
we're a lot better than we were, because like I think back in June or July, bandwidths and stuff were just falling over because like everybody was going online and stuff like that. It's crazy. But also the temperature as well, just things heating up because they're on so often. Do all sorts of weird stuff. So brilliant. So Sandy was our first act, 2 songs. I was going to make a request later, but I need to get the title of the song that I was listening to. So I'm going to make a request, but you have the right to say no. That's always the rule.
And was it on the album?
I think it was, yeah. It was the picture behind you from the album.
There might only be one I'd have to say no to, because I don't think I've played it live, and I'm not even sure I can play it. But you're on reasonably firm territory with any of the rest of them.
Right, I will look it up whilst Steve and Julie are on, because if I can make a request to Steve and Julie, I'm going to do that as well.
Okay, bro.
Because they've got a song that I love. So I'll swap you back into the backstage, and we'll bring Steve and Julie on. So let me just see if I can do the technical bit. See you in a minute.
Okay, will you mute me or shall I mute me?
You won't need to in the background. It's only
brother.
when we're on here that you need to worry about that. So you should be all right. And it's Steve and Julie, or Julie and Steve, whichever way round we want to do it. We'll stick with Steve and Julie. So I was having a bit of a giggle earlier because where Steve and Julie were sat, there's this line. If you look behind them, down the middle of the kitchen, and it almost looks like they're in 2. You know, on the news where they have those 2 different kind of videos. It looks just like that. It was fantastic. So you're going to do 2 songs for us, and again, same thing. Introduce the songs you're going to do. Remember to switch the tick in the box over when you start singing, or just before, and that way you'll get the nicer sound. And then I'll remind you when we come back in as well. So you're all set? You're going to do 2 songs for us?
Yeah.
Brilliant. I shall duck out, and we shall see you in a moment.
Okay. Okay, cancellation. Okay. Hi everybody, great to be here, and lovely to hear Sandy. He's new to us. That's the beauty of these sessions, you get to meet people that you haven't come across before. We're going to start with a song, one of Julie's songs from our latest album, and Sam wasn't quite right. Probably when we first met him we'd made about 4 albums of Julie's songs, but we've just finished recording during lockdown album number 7, so he's got a few songs to catch up on yet. This first song came about from a visit to Brimfield Folk Club in Herefordshire, and we stopped off in Hereford Cathedral while we were down there and visited the bookshop and picked up a little book of folk tales from Shropshire and Herefordshire, and there was a little story in it about a tailor from the village of Kington who it was a fine tailor, but his fault was that he swore a great deal, and then one day the devil comes for him. This is the Kington Tailor.
So be very afraid.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Kington tailor cut his cloth with care.
His practised eye and clever hands, God-given talents rare, with nimble fingers he stitched the seam. But how he spoke the devil's tongue, for all his cursing and his swearing filled the air the whole day long.
load of coal he went one day. From Clee Hill out by Ludlow, met a man along the way who bade the tailor take his measure, bring back a suit all custom made, and at a time and place appointed for his service he'd be well paid. So from the shoulders he measured the man down, his chest and waist and trousered legs still there upon the ground. Too late he witnessed 2 frozen feet, his poor heart faltered, now at last he knew what all his cursing and his swearing in the end had brought him to. Don't talk the devil's talk, he's sure to want for more. He'll come a-searching for your soul, for your soul, knock knocking at your door. The time to keep the bargain soon drew nigh. All payment won the parson, the tailor must deny. They rode together before the dawn to make delivery, both much afraid. And there beyond Edgewell, in and out of sight, the parson knelt and prayed. And to the devil then the suit of clothes he gave, who proffered gold enough for any mortal man to crave. But by its taking he knew he'd sell his soul. He fought temptation till the cock thrice crew. The devil fled, the tailor pledged he'd curse no more the rest of his life through. Don't talk the devil's talk, he's sure to want for more. He'll come a-searching for your soul, knock knocking at your door. Don't talk the devil's talk, he's sure to want for more. He'll come a-searching for your soul, knock knocking at your door.
Thanks very much. I'm sorry if I was cracking up a little bit there in what's a fairly serious song, but when we got to he was measuring the customer up and he got down to his feet, I think I sang frozen feet instead of cloven feet. It was the devil. I do enjoy most of the songs that Julie writes, but 1 or 2 of them take a bit of learning, and that one having a line in about when the cock thrice crew, or the cock crowed 3 times, took a bit of getting my tongue round, and I struggled with that for a while. Anyway, here's a contrast to that, if I get the right fret. Ju, do you want to tell them what inspired this song?
Well, this was inspired by a couple that we knew who, they weren't married actually, but they did live together for a while, and they had very different occupations, came and went at very peculiar hours of the day and night, and you know, we just said, oh, it's never going to work. Anyway, it didn't in the end, but this kind of inspired the song Ships in the Night, and after I'd written it I thought I'd really like to hear Sam sing this, because I think it would suit his voice, so he may get around to it one day.
One day, yeah. Perhaps during lockdown.
Yeah.
Ships in the Night.
She lit perfume candles, kicked off her sandals, uncorked the bottle of wine. All the words that she said echoed round in her head. Sometimes had to be cruel to be kind. She'd only been thinking beyond the lace and bouquet. The absence of points in her favour, hoping she'd not rue the day. They were just advent ships that passed in the night, slipping alongside, warning lights flashing, each fixed on their own charted course, steering out in the dark. Shadows soon out of sight, oceans apart. He sat at the table, his fingers still cradled the box with a bright solitaire. All the words that she'd said echoed round in his stack, carefully chosen and spoken with care. He'd lately been chasing a dream, but she stole it away. Perhaps it would make perfect sense when viewed by the cold light of day. They would just have been ships that passed in the night, slipping alongside, warning lights flashing, each fixed on their own charted course, steering out in the dark. Shadows soon out of sight, oceans apart. Last port of call before voyage's end. Time to make landfall for two hearts that would mend. They would just have been ships that passed in the night, slipping alongside, warning lights flashing, each fixed on their own charted course, steering out in the dark. Shadows soon out of sight, oceans apart. They would just have been ships that passed in the night, slipping alongside, warning lights flashing, each fixed on their own charted course, steering out in the dark. Shadows soon out of sight, oceans apart.
Wonderful. If I could just ask you to do the ticky boxy thing.
Oh yeah.
That would be great, and not stop any echo. Mind you, you can clap now.
Clap now while there's echo.
Twice a clap for your money.
That's it. Yeah, and if we all go yay, yay, it makes it sound like there's twice as many people here as well. That's perfect. Well done.
Hello, we've got an invader.
Yeah.
Every time.
Yeah. So I was doing a stream yesterday. I do a session on Wednesdays called Andy and Friends, and we were doing that. And the cat jumped up on my neck, and this cat obviously didn't quite have the right balance, and he dug his claws in.
Oh
So
God!
I'm trying not to scream out in pain whilst people are singing on this session. Like, oh, it's mad.
Steve and Julie, I will get round to singing that song at some point. I promise.
No
That was the
pressure.
song they writ for me. I was like,
No pressure.
I will, definitely. 100%.
Okay, so this is a bit where we want to find out a little bit more about influences and things like that. So we usually start with sort of saying, tell us about your early influences into music. So what kind of, when you were kind of growing up, getting that first vibe for music, what sort of people were you listening to? What kind of influences did you have from things like parents and stuff like that? So if we start in the order you went, so Sandy, tell us a bit about your kind of background musically and how you kind of got into kind of going, I love music, I want to play guitar, whatever it might be.
Very, very quickly, Andy, can you do me a favour and move the Songbird Sessions thing, because we're kind of semi-losing Julie's head. So if we, Andy can get rid of that little bit.
I can do that.
Good man.
I have the power. Boom,
There we go, that's better.
Right, Sandy. So early influences. What kind of music did you first listen to? Where did it come from?
I can tell you what the very earliest influence was. I grew up in a really deprived council scheme in Glasgow. I was part of this huge family. My mother had 13 brothers and sisters. My dad had 5. And they were good people, great people, fantastic people, doing the best they could. We were poor, but no one knew we were poor. And in another part of the housing scheme, it lived one of my mother's brothers, my uncle James. He was the eldest brother of the 13. And he had teenage daughters when I was about 5, I think, 5 or 6 maybe. And one Saturday afternoon, it was baking hot July Saturday afternoon, my mother took me to visit my Uncle James and my big cousins. And as we got to his part of the hideous council scheme and turned the corner, we could hear this racket. And as we got closer, it turned out my 2 big cousins, both of them girls, had from somewhere appropriated this huge walnut veneered radiogram. Like it's the size of a small caravan. It was ridiculous, right? And just out in the street, joined cables together, out in the street, Dale Shannon Runaway. And it was the most just electric experience almost I've ever encountered. And right at that point, because there was always been music in the house, but right at that point, and maybe I was 6 or something, I just thought, I want to make a noise like that. I want to be able to do that sort of thing. And it was easy to pick up in my house. My parents were very musical. They were really great ballroom dancers, and they sung really well. And they were always singing. And in Glasgow at that time, it was a very, very big established trading port with America, tobacco and sugar, which accounts for everyone's great health and great teeth up there. But the city was awash. From I was very young, the city was awash with imported music that the sailors would bring in, and people would buy them and share them, and we shared them.
Okay, like the American rock and roll influence and things like that.
Totally like that. And in my house, you were either listening to, I don't know, young Marvin Gaye or Gentleman Jim Reeves or Patsy Cline or whoever it was. There was an awareness of the Beatles and that sort of thing. But in my house, definitely, I grew up singing country songs with my mum in harmony. We would sing them. We had a party. Our family had a party every Saturday night. Hundreds of people would pile in. Everyone had to sing a party song.
So you've
and
definitely
my
got
mum and I would sing country tunes in harmony.
So I would say if we were trying to pitch you in a genre, not that we should do this, you would kind of have that Americana roots blues kind of sound as well going on.
Yeah.
Where did that come in then, or is that just you've evolved into that, or was that existing in your early musical experiences?
No, essentially, you hear those things around the house, and as I grew up, and curiously, I have 3 grown-up daughters, and they've all gone the same route here. Not that they're performing musicians, but they have an unbelievably eclectic sense of taste. And as you sort of grow up, you start to wonder, well, where did Marvin Gaye come from? And then you find Ray Charles, and then suddenly you're going, well, hang on, isn't Joe Cocker? I think he's Ray Charles in A Good Day, or whatever any of that is.
Yeah.
And I don't have. I mean, I have huge heroes. There are people that I think are amazing, particularly as writers. Going back to Dylan and beyond and on. But I don't have any huge slice of anything that I think is the thing that I've gravitated towards. Rather, it's all. I feel like I've just dragged my finger around for years in a pot of lots of different colours of paint, and I stopped when a picture turned up that I liked. That's as much as I can do for you on that one, I think.
Yeah. Oh, you've frozen on my screen. Oh, that might be me. Is it me?
I think it's
no,
you,
you're
mate.
not frozen.
Yeah, no, it's me. I think my internet is just having a bit of wobbly tonight.
Not to worry. But I mean, there's loads of things that I really like, and that somehow or other inform me. Yeah, I mean, Steve and Julie, you guys start, suddenly I'm thinking of Sandy Denny and things that I've adored, folk music I've adored for years. And, I haven't set out to make music that's either country music or Americana music or blues music or rock music, or whatever it is. It's just the way those things have kind of rubbed into me, and that's how it comes out.
Okay. So you grew up probably like me on early rock and roll, kind of onto that rock and roll country influence and things like that.
Yeah.
Steve and Julie, were you the same, or have you got a big contrast? Because I suppose you're down the folk route, I suppose doesn't necessarily mean that was your first influence into music, I guess.
Yeah, I think, certainly when I was in my teens, my brother was a big Beatle fan and I was a big Beach Boys fan. So harmonies probably played quite strongly in our tastes. The Four Seasons, people like that. We loved harmonies. We used to sing together a lot in harmony. He went more in a rock and roll direction, and Julie and I, when we met, got into folk music. And the folk scene was quite vibrant in the late 60s and early 70s. There were loads of folk clubs around. So our beginnings were listening to the songs of people like Ewan McCall and Tom Paxton and Gordon Lightfoot, Stan Rogers, all these people, great songwriters. Joni Mitchell, of course, one of our favourites as well. So I think that's where our beginnings in folk music came. And it wasn't until probably the 80s that Julie began writing one or two songs, and we recorded one or two in those days. But we only did a few, and it wasn't really until 2012 when we both packed up work full time that Julie got stuck in writing, and she's not stopped since.
You mean they had coronavirus back in 2012?
No, we were lucky.
Yeah, I was going to say I must have just packed up working not by choice this year. Yeah. Tom Paxton, I mean, you talk about one of my mum's idols. I grew up listening to him as well. Yeah. And it's always weird because I never associated people like Gordon Lightfoot and Tom Paxton as folk, because when we would see them on TV, they would be on a popular music program.
Yeah, sure.
That's it. And it's not until later you then start to realise people kind of falling into these kind of categories we call genres. When you grow up, you don't care about that. You just know this is what I like and this is what I don't like. It's only years later, I think, you then start to almost funnel into an area that feels right for you and things like that. Is that fair, do you think?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. I mean, Julie was more into Motown, so we could have ended up being the Four Tops.
Well, I suppose the harmonies were still there, later.
So another somewhat eclectic musical background then, yeah, because that's quite diverse.
I think you get to a certain age, don't you, where you just seem to mature on a certain type of music, and you kind of then roll on with that, if that makes sense. That's what I kind of found.
Yeah, I think you get to a place. I mean, I certainly got to a place about 3 years ago. I've made my living since 1979 writing and producing and whatever for all sorts of things. I've written film scores and blah. And
Sandy, just before you say anything else, I'm looking for a manager. So if you're looking for someone to kind of support, just sort of get that in there quick.
But I think you do. I think Sam's right. I got to a place about 3.5 years ago where I thought, okay, we're kind of warm and dry and well fed. I don't really want to do any of this anymore. What I like is a song that's got 5 or 6 chords, if that, and a melody that addresses those chords in a proper way, and a few words that mean something to me, and if that means something to anybody else, there's a bonus. But at least I think you get to an age where you're confident enough to go, well, I like this is what I'm doing. It's easier to be influenced by other people when you're younger and inexperienced. And I think you do just get to a place where you're prepared to dig your heels in and go, I don't have to justify this to anyone, I've only got to like it. If I like it, that will do. Take it or leave it.
Well, and you look at it, I mean, that's what's almost killing Nashville, is because the record companies now are doing so much to drive the influence of the style of music for country artists, which is where you're getting this grey boundary between country and pop. And the fans are then going, hold on a minute, it's our music, not yours to control. You know, we'll tell you if we'll follow it or not. And I think that's right. But you get to a point where you go, I know what I want to do and I know what I like.
Yeah, I've done a whole bunch of that writing in Nashville, where you write 2 or 3 songs a day with 2 or 3 different people and whatever. And because the general level of talent and skill and ability in Nashville is extremely high, I mean, they're interested in quite a small area, but they are unbelievably good at it. So I would never say, I've probably been involved in writing 80 songs in and out of Nashville. I would never say any of them were bad, but I couldn't hand on heart say any of them were any good. They were kind of song by committee, song by some sort of template. And it's just not for me. It just doesn't work for me, you know.
Okay, well, look, I'll tell you, we could talk for hours, and we often do. And obviously the people are saying, shut up and sing another song, because
I
that's
get that
kind
every
of what we do.
second Wednesday, mate. I do a stream every second Wednesday, and that's the constant theme on screen. Shut up and sing another song.
Yeah. Stop lecturing us, just sing a song.
I had that first
history,
experience.
people. This is history.
About 2 weeks ago, right? Well, normally I love to have a little chin chat with people and comment back to people, but Andy went, just get on with it and sing. First time ever, and Andy was the one who actually told me to shut up and sing. I was like, what's going on here? This doesn't make no sense.
Do you know what? We're on the phone to each other. It must be an hour and a half we're on the phone, and Tanya, my wife's going, oh, for God's sake. It's like having a husband or something like that. Right, so we'll swap it round this time. So Steve and Julie, if you'll grace us with a couple of songs first. Again, the same format, introduce the songs, tell us the story. And then we'll swap straight over with Sandy. Steve, don't forget to do your little clicky thing.
Yeah, just doing that.
And we'll drop out, and then when we come back in, we'll check some of the comments, and we'll also start to find out about your writing influences and things like that. So I shall drop us out, because I can hear the echo.
Okay, well, this is a little song that came about early in lockdown. We happened to catch an episode of The Repair Shop on BBC TV, and it was, for anybody who's not seen it, a programme where people take in their treasured possessions, which are the worse for wear, and the craftsmen and women at the repair shop, over a period of a few weeks, restore them to their former glory. And a lady from a church in Lincolnshire appeared with 4 hand-carved wooden angels that had been carved by Belgian refugees in the First World War. And they'd resided in the church, but over the years they'd become knocked about and chipped and damaged, and eventually they'd been repainted in fairly garish colours, and she wanted them restored. And Will the woodworker stripped the paint off and discovered that originally they'd been gilded, and he decided to restore them to their original condition. And after a couple of months, the lady came back to pick them up and was presented with 4 beautiful golden angels. And Julie thought they deserved a song, and especially during lockdown, it's a happy story. It's called A Gift of Angels, and we did put it in BBC Song for Lincolnshire and got in the finals, but we didn't win. But it was great to get it in there, and we have sent a recording of it to the people at the church in Gosburton, so they were over the moon with it. A Gift of Angels. 2, 3, 4.
workers, but their hands were never idle. Still their artistry survives there in the buildings and the churches,
Anchored in memory of Edgar Hudson, a vicar well respected, they endow a gift of angels, 4 golden angels, to the parish church of Gosburton Clough.
They adorn the ornate altar half a century, slightly faded then brightly repainted, and for a while in lifelike swinging 60s colours stood, until that altar in its turn was renovated.
Then to the darkest depths of the church old coal shed, the angels were consigned for the duration. Dusty angels with dirty faces, longing for the light and sweet rejuvenation.
On release from their confinement to the windowsills, much the worse for wear, relegated, peeling paint and missing hands and broken wings sustained by the ravages of time scarred and ill-fated.
Till spring 2019, when Jane, the church warden's wife, resolved to rectify the situation. Fallen angels, but beauteous angels, angels patiently awaiting their salvation.
She knew of a repair shop on BBC TV, a place where treasured broken things were mended. If only Will, the wood restorer, took a look, he'd see those angels just the way the refugees had intended. In the sympathetic hands of this fine artisan, so began their transformation. Stripped down, restored and gilded by his Midas touch, soon they were ready to astound the congregation.
Close to the altar now, beneath the west window, in all their former glory, how they shine.
Celestial angels,
Gosburton's angels, 4 golden angels that have stood the test of time. Celestial angels, Gosburton's angels, 4 blessed angels that have stood the test of time. A gift of angels. Thanks a lot. And really it's only this year that Julie's finally managed to get me to have a go at writing 1 or 2 songs, and it came about from a little songwriting challenge that a few friends of ours are running, where each month one of the group suggests a subject for the following month for everybody to write a song about, and some wonderful songs have appeared during the year, and we've recorded a few of them on our album, which will be out in the spring. This one came about because somebody with a sadistic sense of humour suggested that we write a song about pylons, and Julie wrote a cracking one, which we're not planning to do tonight, but it's based on the character in the Fast Show, and it's called Aren't Pylons Brilliant, and it's really good. But this one, I thought I'd have a go at it, and I was aware that in America they still have the sport of air racing, where they race old Second World War fighter planes around a course in the Nevada desert, and the course is marked by pylons in the sand. So I thought I'd have a crack at that, and this was the result, if I get the right fret. And the song's called Echoes on the Wind, and the echoes refer to the sound of the Merlins and the Griffins, the engines they use, many of which were built at Rolls-Royce in Derby, of course. So there's a connection there for us. So this is Echoes on the Wind. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Nevada skies, high desert sand, rocks strewn and blowing tumbleweed. This is where Bill Stack fulfilled his dream to revive the quest for airborne speed. In Cleveland, Ash, the race had died, till here at Reno back in '65. Once more they soared into the air. Old warbirds resurrected. In twos and threes, the distant hum of engines fills September skies. Like swallows on the wing they come, each pilot here to seek that prize. Fine-tuned and polished, gleaming proud, in peaceful competition now, to be the fastest and the best. As for the rest, the devil may take them. In readiness, the pylons wait to mark the course and watch them go. These men, a special breed apart, who test the limits of their skill. They've worked and laboured for these days, they lay their lives upon the line. For many they have crashed and burned here in the high Nevada. The pace plane leads them down the chute, then climbs away to watch them go. The bleachers packed, the crowds are here, the trade stands, burgers and the beer. All eyes fix skyward as they pass and make the turns until at last the leaders round the final tower, their engines fairly howling. In readiness, the pylons wait to mark the course and watch them go. These men, a special breed apart, who test the limits of their skill. And one trails smoke and peels away to land before the flames take hold. The fire trucks race to see him safe as down the runway soon he rolls. The races run, the pylons stand in silent witness in the sand, and trophies one more legends born. New heroes on the wing now. The Merlin, Wasp and Griffin's cry, just echoes on the wind, just echoes on the wind.
Echoes on the Wind.
Marvellous. Beautiful, beautiful. I love that first song. So can you do your clicky thing with the tick?
Yeah.
And then, although I love hearing the sound of my own voice, twice is way too much for anyone. Way too much. So while we're on, I'll just say hello to some of our people who have joined and kind of tuning in since you've been playing. So Dawn Marie, who is always an avid follower of ours, lovely to see you. Courtney, who has been leaving some lovely comments as well, nice to see you again. And Adrian Kerr, I'm guessing he is a folk fan.
He's from Melton Mowbray, Adrian.
From Mansfield.
Melton Mowbray.
Oh, I've frozen again, haven't I? I've frozen again, haven't I? Yeah, I did. I froze again. Did you say he's from Mansfield?
No, Melton Mowbray.
Melton Mowbray. Nice to see you, Adrian. And again, lovely comments. Beautiful. Love it. Oh, I like it. I like comments like that. Well done. This is lovely. Gives me the chills. That's nice. I do love the Angels one. That is one of those that I think kind of puts you in the feels sort of place in a good way. So right, I shall swap you over with Sandy, and then we shall have a couple of songs from Sandy, and then we're going to talk a little bit more about your songwriting. So I shall rather rudely remove you from the stream in the nice way.
We're back.
Oh, Sandy, your video's not there. That's my side. Sandy, the floor is yours. So introduce us to your next two songs. By the way, my request, just if I get it in early, is it Already Gone?
That's the only tune in the album I can't do for you. It's
I
the only
knew
tune
it.
I haven't
knew
worked
it.
out how to do just with one guitar.
I knew it.
I'm really
Okay.
sorry, brother. Any
No,
other
it's all right.
tune, I'll have a go.
I knew it'd be the one. I already knew it
Sorry.
before I said I was going to do it, but
I'm so
never
sorry.
mind.
I'll tell you
That's
what,
all right.
while I'm not doing that, you're holding a guitar. Why don't you do a tune for us?
Do you know what? So I was going to introduce normally I introduce the show and either Sam does a song or I do a song. When we're together, we do a song together. But I totally forgot this time. So I'm going to do one maybe in a little while.
Okay.
But so if you do your two songs for me, then I promise you I'll do one in a bit.
All right, I'm really sorry about that tune. There's 13 songs on the record. The other 12 I've worked out how to do with one guitar, but that one I haven't.
Do you know what? If this was the lottery, I'd have been going, yes, I won.
Make sure you buy a lottery ticket, yeah. All right.
Yeah, that's it. So Sandy McLelland, two more songs for you.
Okay, I wasn't going to do this tune tonight, but actually having heard our friends here talk about writing a song as a songwriting challenge, this was a songwriting challenge. When I was writing tunes for the last record, I wrote about 56 tunes, I think, 56, 57 tunes that were finished and done and dusted and had words and whatever. And then I whittled that down. I recorded 25, and then finally only 13 made it onto the record. And quite a lot of those tunes were kind of in a singer-songwritery sort of way, fairly sad and self-pitying and a bit morose. And every day when my partner Dee, who sometimes sings with me actually, she can't tonight, but she generally does, when she'd come back from work, she was still working at that time, I'd play her some new song that I'd written that day, and it was all kind of, oh, woe is me, poor me. And I remember one morning, I was going out to a studio session somewhere, and my phone went in the car, and she said, look, what's going on? I've just realised that you've become the sort of second most miserable man on the face of the earth. Everything that you write is sad and miserable. What's going on? Are you unhappy? Do we need counselling? What's the situation here? And I tried to explain it to her that, no, I wasn't unhappy. I've never been as happy in my life. But what she didn't understand was that if you're from Glasgow, particularly, Scottish people, but Glasgow people particularly, there is nothing that makes us happier than a sad song. Anyway, she challenged me to write something that disproved the theory that I was the world's second most miserable man. And this is it. This is a wee song about my sweetheart, Dee, and it's for her, and it's about her, and it's called I Believe in You. Well, I've been thinking for a long, long time, it's all or nothing, the soul heart of man. And if you're wondering about I'm a sad, sad song. I'll always be there, baby, to keep you strong. 'Cause baby, when I look at you, I know there's nothing that I won't do. My baby, when I look at you, well, I know you'll always see me through. Baby, I believe in you. I believed in you from the very first night. Believed in you 'cause it felt so right. I believe you make my day worthwhile. Believe in you 'cause you make me smile. I believe in you when I hear you say you believe we'll always feel this way. Baby, baby, I believe in you. 'Cause baby, when I look at you, well, I know there's nothing that I won't do. My baby, when I look at you, well, I know you'll always see me through. I believe in you. I believed in you from the very first night. Believed in you 'cause it felt so right. I believe you make my day worthwhile. Believe in you 'cause you make me smile. I believe in you when I hear you say you believe we'll always feel this way. Baby, baby, I believe in you. 'Cause baby, when I look at you, well, I know there's nothing that I won't do. My baby, when I look at you, well, I know you'll always see me through. Baby, I believe in you. Yes, I do, darling. Yes, I do, I do, I do. Yes, I do, darling. That was I Believe in You. Okay, something slightly more serious. Not that I Believe in You is not serious, but this is a song. If, like me, you're someone of a certain age, you may have lived a lot of life, and you may have loved for a lot of that life. And if, like me, that love was long and deep, but didn't go the distance, it's a pretty difficult thing to recover from. And I spent some time in my life after I'd had a very long and difficult relationship that ended, thinking that I wouldn't have the stamina to go forward into another relationship of that nature. And then just kind of when you least expect things, sometimes something turns up. And all this song's really trying to say is you probably can go again. And if you get a second chance, don't make the same mistakes you made first time round. And trying to tell myself that every little victory means love's catching up on me, on and on, on and on. The dress that you was blue, the night I opened up to you, Guess I just didn't have a clue how to be with you, how to find you, how to stay with you, how to be true, how to reach for you, how to touch you right there, because it's you. I am willing to try, 'cause it's you. I have nowhere to hide, 'cause it's you. I'm doing the best I can for now, while I'm working on forever, because it's you. Trying to convince myself some that love has a plan for us. You know it doesn't, but you hope it does. On and on, on and on. Now it seems very clear and true. I got everything to hold on to. I just hope I can get through to you. How to be with you, how to find you, how to stay with you, how to be true, how to reach for you, how to touch you. Because it's you. I am willing to try, 'cause it's you. I have nowhere to hide, 'cause it's you. I'm doing the best I can for now, while I'm working on forever, because it's you. Because it's you, darling, because it's you. That was Because It's You.
That was absolutely beautiful, Sandy. Absolutely beautiful. That last
Superb.
song.
What was really quite nice is so these folks can't see each other when they're in the backstage area, but I can see all of them. And so Sandy's singing his first song, and I could see Julie and Steve sitting there. It's almost like a breeze was blowing them. They were doing this. Like this. It was lovely. They were kind of rocking along to the song. It was really nice. Yeah, and I was
can I
looking
ask
at
Steve and Julie, have you come across Odette Michelle in your travels? Have you come across Odette Michelle?
Yes, oh yeah.
Lena Michelle, yes.
Yeah.
Friends of ours from Lincolnshire, yeah.
Yeah, she's really, really nice. I've done 4 or 5 shows with Odette. She's lovely. She's really good.
Isn't that a small world?
Yeah.
You always say, was it 6 points or something, or 7 points of separation?
Yeah.
How small a world is that? I've never heard of her, but
So
But
young English
I
folk
have.
singer. It's really nice.
Yeah.
Sam, you've heard of her as well.
Yeah, definitely. There's
Now
not
I
many
feel
folk.
very,
I've
very
not.
unspecial. So, yeah. Okay, Sam,
Yeah,
what are we
so,
talking about next?
Yeah, I think we'll move on. I think so, guys. What inspired you to write? Was there a certain person? Was there a certain time in your life where you thought, right, this is why I want to write? So I think that's the question really. Was there somebody that inspired you, or you listened to a lot and thought, I'd love to sort of do what they do? Or did you just think, no, I'm just gonna start writing because I feel words are coming and I want to let them out? So we'll get to Steve and Julie first.
I'll let Julie answer this one. She's written far more than I have. What inspired you to write in the first place?
In the first place, I don't know really. I've always enjoyed poetry, and I suppose that was just a natural progression really to try and sort of put music to it. I always enjoyed music at school and just kind of followed on from there really.
I remember seeing a picture on Steve or Julie's, one or the other, of you sitting in a chair with a pencil and paper, is it?
That might have been, yeah, there's a picture of Julie working away at a song.
Yeah.
It might be that, I don't know. What always amazes me is the variety of subjects that she's managed to write about. I think that's what staggered me. I mean, when you think we've just finished recording our 7th album since 2012.
Hang on a second, there's 7?
Which is 8 years ago, and there's 16 or 17 songs on every one, and they're all original songs. So she's just been so prolific, really.
That's. I thought I knocked him out quicker than babies. That's a lot of songs.
It's a lot of
albums
songs
as well. Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought there was only about 5.
One out yet. Sam and
I'm
I
wrong
still
there. I
trying to
need
get
some
our
more.
first albums out.
I need some more sent to me.
So was there someone then when you got into writing that you admired their writing style, things like that?
I suppose I've always enjoyed sort of Joni Mitchell and Sandy Denny, those kind of people. Mary Chapin Carpenter, yeah, she's one of our favourites. Nancy Griffith, all lovely songs, and they all write sort of very different things. Gretchen Peters.
So what about poetry side? Because obviously you said you used to do poetry before you then started doing songs. So is the poets that you kind of followed a lot?
My dad was always into poetry, so I suppose I got that from him. Although he used to sort of write more sort of amusing rhymes, really. But I don't know. I just I like the imagery of poetry. Sort of taking things from nature and human nature and.
It definitely does lend itself to the folk sort of community storytelling.
For me, the hardest thing is the music, because you'd think, every great tune's already been written. And I think that's what's impressed me most, because both Ju and I love poetry. In fact, we brought out a poetry and songbook last year, which we illustrated, and that's got a load of our songs and a load of our poems in. So the words are not such a problem because we both enjoy that, but to come up with original tunes every time is a real challenge, I think.
Yeah. Like Andy, because Andy's always messaging me going, Sam, I've got some songs, but I always use the same sort of stuff, and I don't know what melody I want to do now, and I just say, just use something different. So,
yeah, well, I imagine with poetry as well, because you're not writing for rhythm and you're not writing for a melody, the phrasing of lines in poems and things can be a little bit more complex.
Yeah.
So that means when you're putting the melody to them, you're then having to create melody that doesn't conform to maybe normal rhythmic styles of writing when we're
definitely.
country.
Yeah, definitely. This is the first year that I've actually had to go at writing a few songs, partly because of lockdown and our songwriting challenge. And I've tended to write the lyrics in the form of a poem, but then Julie's kind of recrafted it to make it fit the meter and fit the rhythm of whatever tune she's come up with. So it is a different, quite a different thing to write for a song to writing for a poem. I mean, how do you do it, Sandy?
It sort of depends, actually. My first record deal was in 1979, and I'd already started writing songs, and they weren't very good, but at least I got to record an album of them, and the world confirmed straight away that they weren't very good. I think we sold about 10 copies of it, and I got sort of kicked around a little bit in the 80s for a variety of reasons. I ended up in a ridiculous legal dispute with a major American publishing company, and it took 5 years to unravel that, and we eventually won the case and set legal precedent for what artists could or could not do with their music. But I was injuncted for 5 years in the 80s from doing anything at all, and I drifted away from performing and writing, and I was doing other things. I was producing and engineering, and I did loads and loads. I had about 20 years where I did loads of singing for TV commercials and things of that nature. And having come back now to going, okay, well, here's where I stand. This is all I'm doing now. For as long as I've got breath to draw, this is what I'm doing. And if anybody else likes it, great. If they don't, I'm doing it anyway, because this is what I'm doing. But the songs, it's much more perspiration than inspiration for me. I can have an idea, and
That's right.
and I'll finish a set of lyrics, and I'll spend 3 months tampering with them, not necessarily changing the thrust of it at all, just trying to get it to be in as elegant a form as I can muster.
Yeah.
So what Andy does, Sandy, very quickly, what Andy does is he finishes a song, he sends it to me to pre-proof read it. He's shaking his head. He know he does. Pretty much everyone. Right? So in some sort of way, everybody, I want it live. I should have co-writes on this. I should have...
Get out of it.
Absolutely.
Get out of it. Yeah.
But I mean, I haven't got a kind of set pattern for this. What I do find is the more I do it, the more I do it.
Yeah.
So I had a really long creative writing spell where I was writing a lot of songs. I finished the album, then I got on my car and travelled up and down the country for months on end, playing to 10 people, 5 of whom didn't want to hear it. Going to every little radio station there was and whatever, which sort of paid off because the record did fine. You know, it didn't sink without trace. But having stopped the writing bit of it and having come back round to it again now more recently, it's taken a little while just for that muscle memory to get back to you. I don't know if you find that, Steve or Julia, that the more I do it, the more accomplished I am at doing it. If I leave it for a while, I've got to go back to stage one and learn how to do it again.
I don't think Steve and Julian stop singing, do you? You're out and about all the time at clubs and things, aren't you?
Well, we've saved a lot of diesel since lockdown. I know that. It's travelling to clubs. We've done just over 150 Zoom sessions and some live videos to online festivals and so on. So we've kept really busy with the music during this. It's probably what's kept us almost sane.
I think that's right. But what I do think is that there's a change here. I don't think this is going away when we can go out and play gigs again. I think there's a whole seam here where, you know, before all this, I'd go out and play a little gig, either on my own or maybe take a couple of musos or something. I'd travel 250 miles there and, or, you know, 200 miles there, 200 miles back, or 200 miles round trip. I'd get 200 quid. I'd pay the guys 80 quid each, buy them dinner, whatever. I'd come home exhausted, played to 20 people, and I was out of pocket. Now, I don't mind that because I feel that the only little bit of USP I have is that I can get in front of people and I can do what I can do, and that's the best thing. But it's not everything, and I've definitely found I've been doing streams like you, Andy, and Sam, maybe only about 3 months now, fortnightly for about 3 months. And when I do them, we don't get loads of people watching there and then, but the follow through from other parts of the world, whatever, is extraordinary. So I do a little stream on a Wednesday night. By the Friday, 3,500 people have watched it or something like that. You know, it's not 20 people in a pub in Blackburn somewhere that I've driven up to play to, 10 of whom wish I wasn't there. And so I don't think this is going away. I think this is part of the fabric for us all now.
And it's an interesting challenge, isn't it? Because you turn up to a pub or you turn up to a restaurant, you don't know who you're going to get when you kind of in the crowd. You might get a bunch of people who are absolutely legless and want to heckle you all night. You might get a bunch of people who want to kind of listen to everything you do. Yeah. Whereas the difference with this is the people that you kind of foster relationships with through the comments, through the engagement, you know they're here because they want to be here and listen to you and kind of see the acts and stuff like that.
Yeah,
I mean,
so-
we've got a lovely little family of people now that kind of follow us through the streams. You probably find the same, whether it's the Zoom sessions or whether it's your kind of live stream, Sandy. You know, that's much more rich for me.
Yeah, me too, mate. Me too. And I'm in touch with people in Australia and people in America. And people
Absolutely, yeah.
that I'd have no way of being in touch with unless I was doing this thing.
No.
It's
No, I
just
think
not
you're right,
way.
Sandy.
Yeah.
I think you're right. It will continue in some form, even when clubs get back to reopening and so on.
Yeah, I think that's
I
right.
mean, I think the lucky thing about us folky side is that we luckily when we turn up to places, 90% of people want to see us when we do gigs at folk clubs. As well, when I've done, I've been like yourselves and Andy, where I've gone into a pub and I've done what I've done, and the reaction is so different. If I was to go down the road to one of my local clubs, or I've travelled 100 miles just to go to a folk club down in Wales somewhere, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
They know when you turn up, they want you to be there.
Yeah.
As where when you go to a pub, I had a great following for a while, and I did a gig up in Nottingham, and literally I turned up and there was 2 people there. And I was like, well, hang on a second. Everyone's messaging me going, I'll see you on the night. And I'm thinking, well, that's got to be at least 30 people. Yeah. And I turn up to 2 people, and I'm thinking...
Well, it's the complete opposite way around, isn't it? You can do here, and 90% of people are here because they want to listen to either us or the acts or all of it and things like that. You go to a pub and actually 90% don't care.
Yeah.
You know, they want to drink or eat their food or whatever it is like that. You've got probably about a half-hour window to try and capture them like that.
Actually,
that's a battle.
For the most part, they'd rather you weren't there. You're kind of spoiling a good meal.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah. Well, again, it's interesting. So we talk about these sorts of sessions, and Steve Blaw's put a comment in that says he's played a couple of these sorts of streams with me and Sam and stuff, and we've never actually met to do music, whether it's an open mic or a pub or anything like that. And again, there's loads of people that Sandy, I would have probably not met you for a long time yet, unless we got caught on the same festival and things. Yeah. Steve and Julie, I've seen you because of Brood and things like that.
Yeah.
But there are loads of people. Gareth, we had on here the other week. I'd have never really met him for quite a while and stuff. And it just brings
Sarah, we had on as well.
Together like that.
I'd have probably never met her. As well. Yeah.
Right,
nice,
enough of us talking.
Oh,
because,
we kind of drifted off a little bit there, didn't we?
So let's hear another couple of songs, and then I think I'll do a song after that if people still care and want a song.
Can I
Not
request
that I'm
a song
looking
off
for
you?
sympathy or anything, but
Can I request a song off you this time?
You're always requesting songs off of me. What are you after?
Let me have a think and I'll get back to you. I'll message you. I'll message
You made it
because
sound like you had
because
one
I've got to
already.
try and think of ones that you've not done yet.
Oh man, don't make it hard. Don't make, like Sandy was saying, if it's something I haven't done for a while, I've got to start at square one again.
I know
it's
exactly
like putting the
what song I
stabilizers
want.
back on the bike.
I know exactly what song I want.
What is it?
I would love you to sing the new one you sent me about. What was it?
Billy. Billy.
You know about, is it Rose or something? No, what's it called? The one your cat's called it. Daisy. You need to sing Daisy.
Okay.
Honestly, guys, this song you sent me was just...
I knew you'd pick a hard one. Right, I might have to go and get the words in.
Good boy.
This old brain doesn't retain things as well as it used to.
And Julie and Steve, if we can definitely have the Spoon song, because honestly, guys, that song is just...
Yeah, we'll get that one.
Thank you.
So who went first last time?
Steve
First last time, I think.
Okay, so Sandy, if you're gracious enough to go first for us this time, that'd be fantastic.
Sure.
Same format as before. Introduce your songs. Steve, when you go on and I swap you over, just remember to do your clicky thing. That'd be fantastic. And I shall get rid of Sam, me, and Steve and Julie, and the floor's yours. Make sure I remove the right people. I almost removed you then. Right, see you in a few minutes.
This is a song that's all in fun and half and serious. sometimes I like to address a serious issue for me. Pretty well everything I write is something out of my life or some experience that I've been very close to. Anyway, this is a song which kind of expresses what it's like when you become infatuated with entirely the wrong person for hopelessly the wrong reasons. And you know that it's bad for you. You know when it's done, you're going to pop your head up from the centre of your heart and look out, and as far as you can see to the horizon all the way around, the earth is scorched. And you call her up because you know you got to break up with her. It's killing you. And you steel yourself, you invoke whatever courage you've got, and you meet her to tell her that this just can't go on. And then she turns up, and of course, with her high-heeled shoes and her red dress on, she's still the best drug you've ever known. Baby, baby, why'd you have to do those things you do? We're not lately. I've been thinking my heartaches all begin and end with you. And every time I try to say I can't go on like this, you seem to find a way to fix me with your kiss. And I've tried so hard to give you up, but the history shows I ain't had no luck with your high-heeled shoes, your red dress on. You're the best drug that I've ever known. Tried so hard to give you up, but the history shows I ain't had no luck. High-heeled shoes and your red dress on. You're the best drug that I've ever known. Why am I addicted to your lips? When I think I'm feeling stronger, you found a way to show me what I would miss. And every time I try to say I've had enough of this, you wiggle up to me and sway me with your hips. And I've tried so hard to give you up, but the history shows I ain't had no luck with your high-heeled shoes and your red dress on. You're the best drug that I've ever known. Tried so hard to give you up, but the history shows I ain't had no luck. High-heeled shoes and your red dress on. You're the best drug that I've ever known. I've ever known, darling. Tuesday's your way to Saturday night. The fact is I got blinded by the light of your delicious spell. I threw my heart in a wishing well. The truth is you're one in a million. The fact is you're making me ill. Now I've had my fill of your cheap thrill. I don't need no sugar pills from you. And every time I try to say I can't go on like this, you wiggle up to me and sway me with your hips. And I've tried so hard to give you up, but the history shows I ain't had no luck with your high-heeled shoes and your red dress on. You're the best drug that I've ever known. Tried so hard to give you up, but the history shows I ain't had no luck. High-heeled shoes and your red dress on. You're the best drug that I've ever known. I've been forever known, darling. You're the best drug. Song called I've Ever Known. Lost my headset in the middle there, but never mind. Okay, so I've got one more song to do for you. And I'll do something which is a little bit upbeat and hopefully sends you skipping into the weekend. I grew very tired a long time ago of love at first sight songs. So this is my love at first sight song. This is a song called Died and Gone to Heaven. It must be the heat of a moment or a trick of the light. Something crazy's taking hold tonight. I hardly believe the things I'm starting to feel. This thing is dangerous. This thing is real, real, real. What's going on? This fascination that we have is so strong. From the first time I saw you walking into the room, the search was over, baby, I found you. Let it roll, let it roll, let it roll. Let it roll, let it roll, let it roll. Let it roll, pretty mama, come on back under the covers. I must have died and gone to heaven. Feels like I have died and gone to heaven. Pretty baby, you are my idea of heaven. Who would believe that we could find us piece of heaven? Find us piece of heaven right here. You found me, darling. One kiss, you bound me, darling. The way you give your love, you must have come down from heaven above. Let it roll, let it roll, let it roll. Let it roll, let it roll, let it roll. Let it roll, pretty mama, come on back under the covers. I must have died and gone to heaven. Feels like I have died and gone to heaven. Pretty baby, you are my idea of heaven. Who would believe that we could find us piece of heaven? Find us piece of heaven right here and now. Been a coming of age. I'm a man on a mission, being a man in a cage. You can face the truth, you can tell yourself lies, but you can't escape your future no matter how hard you wanna try. So why would you try? Why would you try? Why would you try? I must have died and gone to heaven. Feels like I have died and gone to heaven. Pretty baby, you are my idea of heaven. Who would believe that we could find us piece of heaven? Find us piece of heaven right here. We're gonna heaven. Feels like I have died and gone to heaven. Pretty baby, you are my idea of heaven. Who would believe that we could find us piece of heaven? Find us piece of heaven right here. I must have died and gone to heaven. Died and gone to heaven.
Marvellous. I've frozen again. So my damn laptop, I think, wants to do some sort of restart and it's having memory problems. Typical. Just when you need it to function properly. That was fantastic. Again, some great comments there. You got a new fan in Courtney.
Brilliant, Courtney. Thank you.
So again, what
Can I
we'll
make
do?
a shameless plug? Can I make a shameless plug?
Yeah.
My good friend Graham Steele, who's a music promoter in Bracknell, who has put on almost 300 live streams since he couldn't do gigs, is selling these exquisite china mugs saying "Keeping Music Live." Graham Steele Music Company. They're very reasonable and a perfect gift for Christmas. But remember, of course, a mug's not just for Christmas.
That's what my wife said once. If you if you got a link to it, send me the link on the messenger chat or something, and I'll pop it in the chat comments for people.
I will do, brother. Thank you.
And also, we'll talk in a minute. Once Steve and Julie have done their set about how people can connect up with you and sort of stay in touch and things like that as well.
Great.
So I'll drop you out the session now, and I'll bring Steve and Julie in. Okay. So look at that. We've got him well trained. He's doing his little clicky thing. So the floor's yours, and we'll see you in 2 songs.
Okay, thank you. Well, this is another song that came out of the songwriting challenge during lockdown, and this particular month, one of the sadists in the group said the subject was doppelgangers, doubles, etc. And Julie did a bit of research and came up with this story about Admiral George Tryon, who in 1893 was commanding some of our ships in the Mediterranean and gave orders that led to a collision, and his own ship was sunk with a great loss of life, including his own. But that same night his wife was holding a dinner party in London, and many of the guests swore that they'd seen the Admiral come down the staircase in his best uniform and walk through the room. So that seemed like a good subject for Julie to write a song about. This is called Clementina's Lament. 2, 3, 4.
I am Clementina Tryon. My husband was a man of the sea. Through the ranks of the British Navy he rose, midshipman to Admiralty. To his first love he has returned now. From me he has taken his leave, and he lies with her on the deep ocean bed. As in London town I grieve. Yesterday I threw a party, a glittering and lavish affair, while my guests in their finery drank and dined at our home here in Eaton Square. George was far abroad on manoeuvres in the Mediterranean Sea, and his squadron there off the Syrian coast was beset by tragedy.
Yet still some swear here in Eaton Square he descended the stairs that night. In full uniform he had passed them by room to room, then clear out of sight. Double walker, doppelganger, taking a final walk ashore. Alter ego, ray for harbinger, healed and gone. Yet still some swear here in Eaton Square
He descended the stairs that night. In full uniform he had passed them by, room to room and clear out of sight. Double walker, doppelganger, taking a final walk ashore. Alter ego, wraith or harbinger, here and gone forevermore. Double walker, doppelganger, taking a final walk ashore. Alter ego, wraith or harbinger, here and gone, gone forevermore.
Thank you very much. Well, we can't really escape the evening without doing Sam's request, so we'll do this one. And for those that don't know it, it's a song that came about from one of our regular visits to Belper Folk Club, and we park just around the corner from the Old King's Head on a little stone bridge over a stream. And one night we got out of the car, got the instruments out and glanced over the parapet, and there in the water on a rock shining below the surface was a spoon, a silver spoon. And I said to Julie, you've written songs about lots of different subjects, I bet you can't write a song about that. And the result was this song, The Spoon in the Brook. 2, 3, 4.
Leaning over the parapet, taking the loan, it was there that I spied you, the spoon in the brook. How you came to rest there, nobody knows. All we can do is suppose. Were you flung from a pram by a babe in a stroke? Were you lost from a hole by a thief on the hop? Did you fly through the air with the greatest of ease, then descend with a plop on that rock? Firmly stuck, the spoon in the brook. Like a diamond you shine in the lamplight, with the babbling waters washing you clean. And as the sun rises up in the morn, you assume an ethereal sheen. Though no use there to diner or cook, the spoon in the brook. Could it be from a riverside picnic you came, or cabbage truffles and vintage champagne? Were you meant to be ladling strawberries and cream when you made your escape downstream? Were you dropped by a busker, once one of a pair? Were you jettisoned quite accidentally there? As it played by that bridge, did you take to the air, then descend with a plop on that rock? Firmly stuck, the spoon in the brook. Like a diamond you shine in the lamplight, with the babbling waters washing you clean. And as the sun rises up in the morn, you assume an ethereal sheen. Though no use there to diner or cook, the spoon in the brook. All through the winter you sparkle
Silly water sprite granted a wish.
You dart now in shallows with silvery fish, or in nursery rhyme fashion did you run away
with a dish.
Fare thee well and adieu, bon voyage, and good luck to the spoon in the brook. Fare thee well and adieu, bon voyage, and good luck to the spoon in the brook.
There it goes.
Wonderful, wonderful. I have to say,
fantastic.
I do like,
Really lovely.
I really do a clicky thing, and then I'll talk. There you go, Courtney saying you're both awesome, awesome. I love that spoon in the brook. I mean, I'm not clever enough to see something like that and write a song about it and go, that's really clever.
Thanks very much.
Do you know, I might as well just throw the laptop through the window. Do you know what? It's terrible. Normally it's perfect. It's because it wants to restart and it's obviously keeps warning me. Never mind.
Sorry, I didn't realise I
You show
was
it
on
who's
mute.
boss, Andy.
Say again.
You show it who's boss, mate.
I will literally
Don't you
be
have any
violent
trouble.
in a minute
give,
with
give
it.
it a damn good thrashing when we're done.
That's like,
I
just
did
like
John.
I do my kids.
Do a
I
John,
didn't
please.
I didn't realise I was on mute, but I was singing along with that song. I do absolutely love just the idea of a spoon in this little river, and then like being taken away with the dish, and it's just fantastic. It's just the ending is just like the best. Not knowing what's happened to this spoon is just fabulous.
And it's not a spoon you saw once. You saw it over a period of much time.
Yeah,
as
we
well.
used to look for it every night, every Tuesday night when we went to Belper, and all through the autumn and the winter. And then one night after heavy rains in the spring, it had gone off downstream.
Oh.
And now we wonder where it's gone. Has it gone to Silver Spoon Heaven? Who knows? Who knows? Who knows? Right, so I'm conscious we've now hit the kind of 2-hour mark, so we've kind of done well. So I'm just conscious I've shared a couple of links for Sandy and that. So if you've got some links, Steve and Julie, to whether it's a website, I did look for a website and I couldn't find one.
Yeah, we've not got a website. We're on SoundCloud as Steve and Julie. If anybody wants to hear any more of our songs, there's quite a few on SoundCloud that are off the albums. And we're both on Facebook, Julie Wigley and Stephen Wigley, both on Facebook, so anybody can get in touch.
So I will.
Might be about time you created
a
page, Steve and Julie. Create a music page, and then have everything on there. Maybe that's an idea.
Do you know what? They probably don't need to. I went onto Google
they don't,
and I searched for them, and there was like loads
Yeah.
of stuff that they do.
They're worse than me.
searched for
I must
me
have been doing
and I
about
was-
20 miles a year. They're worse than me. They're here, there, and everywhere.
Yeah.
I don't know, we've seen you in a few far-flung corners of the country, Sam.
Yeah, well,
Definitely.
what is it? The caravan sessions or something comes up top of Google or something when you search for U2. So you can see at least 4 or 5 songs just watching them in the caravan doing songs on Google.
Oh, yeah,
But
yeah.
we'll share those links anyway. We'll try and find it because we can share them later as well in the comments, and people can kind of watching it back can connect as well.
Yeah. Well, thanks very much for asking us, Sam and Andy. It's been great. It was a bit short notice, so it was a bit of a shock, but we've enjoyed it. And it's been great to hear Sandy. Loved the songs.
Yeah, guys,
Yeah,
terrific
totally.
to hear you as well. I'm going to catch some more. I'll be on SoundCloud. tomorrow.
Thank you.
The reason we ask you so late is we give you no time to say no. Then.
That's right.
To be fair, Steve went to me. He goes, we'll do our best. Give me 5 minutes. I'm going to have a word with Julie, and we'll try our utmost best to help you out. So, and he come back to me and goes, yeah, we're fine. I was like, yes, thank you.
We didn't want to let you down, and it's nice to maybe play to a different audience. I don't know who'll have watched it. It's great to hear that Tina was here from Mansfield and Joe Bayliss.
Yeah, we've had some
Well
good
done,
artists
Tina.
on.
Respect, Tina.
Oh,
Respect.
And Adrian, of course. Yeah.
Come
I
on,
did
Andy,
mean
you're going to play
say-
something for us.
Yeah, I did mean to say as well, because I
Come
meant
on.
to say that Sandy normally, when he does a stream, is partnered by his other half, Denise.
Yeah.
And they do a lot of harmonies and beautiful together. And it's a shame that we didn't get the opportunity, but hopefully we'll, if it's not on this stream for a little while, maybe Sandy, you'll join me for a stream on Andy and Friends or something, or we'll do something. Cause
Yeah,
it's,
yeah.
So
Yeah,
it would
definitely.
be lovely to
I'd
get
love to.
you
I've
and
had a
Denise
really
together
good time,
doing
guys.
something.
Thank you for asking. I've
It's
really
all right. It's
enjoyed
always
everyone.
our pleasure.
It's been
our
just
pleasure.
great.
Right, so okay, so I'll do a song.
Are you going to do the song I've asked for?
Well, yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right, so very quickly, everybody, Andy sent me this song literally only. I think this is your second newest, isn't it? So you have written another one that you've sent me, but it's the one before the new one. And he sent me this song, and it's very rare that I don't give a little bit of harsh criticism. No, that's the wrong word, isn't it? Really, he likes it. And he always knows I'm going to tell him He always knows I'm going to tell him the truth. Because there's nothing worse than sending songs out to people and they're going, yeah, it's fantastic, and actually, it's okay. But Andy, this song now, mate, honestly, is probably secretly. I love Footprints. You know how much I love Footprints, but I think this song is my new favourite of yours.
I'm expecting my Christmas present. You can have Footprints, but I'm expecting a rather big guitar-looking thing in the Christmas Santa box.
Maybe not just yet, but we have. I've got a little plan in mind, so don't
Dude,
worry.
seriously, I'm going to be deeply upset if I don't get my J200. Right. Okay, so this is called Daisy. I honestly, when we ask you to introduce your songs and talk about the stories behind them, I have no idea why I wrote this song. I have no idea where it came from. It just happened. It started from a line that said, I was singing it to myself going, Daisy, are you dancing just for me? And then the rest of it it was almost like vomit. It just came up and it was there. And then it turned into this lovely little tune. So this is a song about, because we all need songs about daisies. You know, you can't have enough songs about daisies.
But don't forget, your missus told you what Daisy really means.
Yeah. So I wrote this song and I played it to her and said, do you like the song? She went, you do realise we have a cat called Daisy? And I went, oh yeah, so we do. I totally forgot. Nothing to do with the song. It's about a flower. So this is called Daisy. So just so we don't get any echo, if you're on mute, that'd be fantastic. Daisy, are you dancing just for me? Does the wind blow soft against your leaves? Does the sun feel like heaven? Do you long to feel the rain? Daisy, would you dance for me again? Daisy, can I sing for you a while? Simple melody to make you smile. If it makes you happy, would you ask me to encore? Daisy, would you dance for me some more? I'll be waiting while the stars light up the night sky. I'll be waiting while the fox begins to play. I'll be waiting while the moon fades and you're kissed by morning dew. Daisy, until then, I'll miss you. Daisy, the sun is sinking low. I think maybe it's time for you to go. Rest your weary self a while, for the morning brings anew. Daisy, I'll be waiting here for you. I'll be waiting while the stars light up the night sky. I'll be waiting while the fox begins to play. I'll be waiting till the moon fades and you're kissed by morning dew. Daisy, until then, I'll miss you. I'll be waiting while the stars light up the night sky. I'll be waiting while the fox begins to play. I'll be waiting while the moon fades and you're kissed by morning dew. Daisy, until then, I'll miss you. Daisy, until then, I'll miss you.
Oh, mate.
Yeah, lovely. Really lovely, Andy.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Beautiful,
I do
Andy.
like it, actually. Good, well done.
It is
Good
really
choice
good,
for
mate.
asking. I
Very
was going to
good,
play another one, but good choice. Good choice.
I mean, I
So-
was a little bit upset, to be honest, Andy. I mean, you was asking Sandy to be your manager, and I do all these things for you. Right?
He does, actually. He does. He is. I am such a traitor. He does a lot.
I am a pain in the bum, but I do a lot.
He is. I do all his posters, and
I
he
know,
does all
yeah.
kind of getting me some gigs and stuff like that. So I'm conscious now. We are 10 minutes over our allotted time, and some of you may have other kind of places to be. Well, actually,
Lives
no
to live,
one's got anywhere
lives
to
to
be
live.
really, but. You may have loved ones to kiss goodnight and spend the night watching Celebrity Get Me Out of Here or something.
No, I
rubbish
think
like
Steve
that.
and Julie's shooting off to a folk club, so hopefully they might message it me and I can shoot on for a little bit as well. To somewhere
I see.
new,
Like
maybe.
that is it. Like that is it. Ditched straight away. So, Steve and Julie, thank you very much for stepping in at the last minute. It was lovely to
pleasure.
have you on.
Thank
Beautiful
you.
songs, beautiful
It's been a pleasure.
songwriting as well.
Thanks for asking
Really
us.
good. You're welcome. And we shall get you back again at some point as well.
Yeah, definitely.
Sandy,
Okay.
likewise. Thank you very much. Again,
Thank you,
I've
guys.
tried to coax you into doing this a number of times, but it's always one of those things. It's dates, times, and all that sort of stuff. So, bless you for joining us. I love your playing. I love your songs. Love
Yeah,
your
it's
voice
great.
as well.
Thank you very
Really
much.
good.
Sandy
Really
definitely
good.
got a new fan, I think, mate, because I've never heard you before, but obviously really, really good, mate. Honestly, really,
Thank
really
you very
lovely.
much, guys. It's
Really
been a
lovely.
joy. It's been a really nice way to spend an evening.
Good,
It's quite
good,
nice because, as I say to people, Andy kind of picks the countryside and I pick the folk side. And the last couple of times we've kind of switched a little bit, which has been really weird for the pair of us. So, because sometimes we don't even know who we both got, which is a bit nice. But when Andy rung me this afternoon, and I was like, oh, I might have to find somebody who's like, I've got somebody in mind who I definitely want on the show. I'm going to just mention it. Pete Bodies, I definitely want you on the show. If you're listening in at some point, mate, Pete, you are absolutely phenomenal. We will get you on the show. But I was like, no, I've got somebody in mind. I'm just waiting for a phone call. I'm waiting for a phone call. So, Steve and Julie, honestly, massive thanks for today. Really, if there's anything you need, just give me a shout and, I'll be there. So,
And again, don't forget, Sandy also does his live stream as well.
Oh,
Did you
yeah.
say it's every second Wednesday?
Every second Wednesday. Next Wednesday, there's one, 8:30 for an hour.
Okay, so sign up to his Facebook page. He pops out posts to let you know it's coming up and things like
There'll
that.
be posts. We do it for an hour. It's quite good fun, I think.
That's it.
I have good fun.
And you'll get to see Denise as well, singing as well.
You'll get to see the lovely Denise, and she sings beautifully.
She kind of hides to the side, doesn't she? She hides, yeah.
Don't you start, mate. I get enough trouble about it. Get the girl in the middle. Let the girl sing more.
That's it. But she does sing, so she sings a couple of songs where she kind of starts off and sings it, doesn't she?
Yeah, there's a couple of tunes that she sings a lead vocal on, and I
Yeah.
sing some harmony for her and whatnot. But
That's it. So
Yeah,
connect
it's
up
just-
with his Facebook page, and you'll see the
Wednesday
post
night,
come out.
8:30, we'll be there.
Yeah, and that's a great banner behind him. I mean, I'm not posh enough to have anything like that.
I'm a bit jealous, to be honest. I might have to get
Mate,
one.
The best
it's-
I've got is some
mate, it's
postcards from
40
Nashville.
quid. It's a 40 quid banner.
Oh, Stephen
Why would
Julie,
I
you could get
pay-
one. With,
why
with
would
a
I
s-
pay you
with a
40
spoon in the
quid?
brook?
Why would I pay 40 quid to have Sandy McLelland on my wall?
No, you can get your own, brother. You get an Andy Hughes one with a daisy on instead of a sunflower.
I couldn't look that cool. I couldn't look that cool. Yeah, it's a struggle daily. So connect up with them again. Google search Steve and Julie. You'll find loads of stuff, and then you scroll down. You will find a Facebook page with them on as well. So again, connect up with them and support them and things like that as well. Just to let you know, our December show, obviously we're not going to run on the last Thursday because it's something like the 27th or something like that, which will be crazy because we'll be all stuffed with turkey. So my thinking is we'll do it probably the week before, maybe something like the 3rd, which is the 3rd Thursday, which is something like the 17th or something like that. And so we planned November, we planned August, September, November, and we planned January, February, March. Totally forgot December existed as well.
Yeah, mate.
So we haven't got the axe for that yet, so we'll figure that out as well. Thank you, Steve and Julie. Enjoy your folk club you're going to. Thank you, Sandy. Have a great
Message
evening.
me so I can know.
Sorry, Sam?
I said send me the link and I might try and come on.
I will do. We will do.
And as always, a big thank you to everyone who's tuned in, commented, those who watch it back for the comments and things like that as well. We love you dearly. Please keep sharing it and tuning in as well. And we'll see you 3rd Thursday in December, I think.
We'll post it out.
Take it
Okay.
easy, guys. Be safe.
I'm going to end the broadcast there. It won't kill us. It will stop the live broadcast. We'll still be here. So take care, everyone. See you later.
See you all soon. Bye.